Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be comparing these two dynamic microphones, which are both designed predominantly to record kick drums. That's Shure Beta 52A and BeyerDynamic TG D70. I will let the audio speak for itself. I just wanted to quickly show them to you side by side, just so you have an idea of, the difference in size and shape. As you can see, the Shure Beta 52 is somewhat larger microphone. It is also a little bit heavier, I would say. That's all for the introduction. I'm going to let you watch the video, and I'll come back at the end of it just to give you my thoughts on what I think they actually sound like. So enjoy the video, and I'll see you at the end of it. So what did you think? Well, I would start by saying that I don't have a clear favorite between the two. I think they both sound excellent. I shall mention that I've had the Shure Beta 52A for many years. I've tested it on different bass drums. I've tested it in configuration with other microphones. So I have a better idea of its performance, from the experience. This microphone, on the other hand, the BeyerDynamic TG D70, I have only just received a few weeks ago. So this is literally the first recording I've done with it and the first time I'm hearing it. What I would describe as two main differences between the two of them is the EQ curve is slightly different and the rejection is slightly different. What I mean by that is that the Shure mic seem to have a spike around roughly 5Ks, which is the frequency where it lets in like the cymbals and snare wires that kind of a range. Whereas the BeyerDynamic mic seem to have a little bit more low end, just a tiny bit more, somewhere around 50 hertz. Now, I've looked up the EQ curves in online, and they more or less confirmed what my ears are hearing. And the other thing I mentioned was the rejection. Now, to my ear, the BeyerDynamic mic has quite significantly better rejection. What I mean by that is it lets in much less from outside the bass drum. So you can hear much less cymbals, much less snare, much less anything outside the bass drum. Now, I'm no audio engineer, but the common sense is telling me this could be simply due to the difference in the EQ curve that I've just mentioned earlier. Because if, one microphone just generally lets in more high frequency, That means regardless of the position, regardless of the rejection, you will just hear more cymbals. Or it could be both. It could be that the BeyerDynamic actually does have a better rejection and also does have a slightly different curve. So what you're hearing is more of the bass drum itself, not kind of interrupted by anything else from the outside. So this is what I'm hearing. Again, these are just my first impressions after having just heard the video back, my own recording. So I don't know, let me know, what do you think, what you're hearing? Am I making sense? Are you hearing the same thing? Or are you hearing something else? Or you have, different experiences with either or both of these microphones? Put it in the comments. We can have a chat about it. And I think that's all for this video. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.